Now, many of you may be missing the nail salon, but your wait may be close to an end. Joining me today to talk nail safety and what the new normal may look like in salons is salon owner Michelle Sauders James. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Well, tell us more about yourself. You've been in the nail business for quite some time, but you've only recently opened your own salon, correct?
Correct, yes. I am a 30-year veteran of the nail industry, considered an industry expert, and I just opened a brand new salon in Oakland, California in January. We were only open 8 weeks before we had to close.
Oh, wow. So that definitely threw a little bit of a wrench in your plans. You're concerned with something that Governor Newsom said recently. What was it, and what effect do you think that it's had?
Well, I was very surprised by a statement that Governor Gavin Newsom mentioned about 2 weeks ago now, that the community spread of COVID-19 started in a nail salon in California. That was the first time I had heard of it. And when I did hear that, I was so shocked, and I was surprised and very concerned because it has very negative effects on our industry.
Yeah, I could see where that would be concerning. I mean, these days everybody's questioning just about every facet of our lifestyle, how we do it and what's safe and what's clean. When we talk about hair and nail salons, you guys are in phase 3. That's where you've been designated by the state. So how soon do you expect nail salons to be able to reopen, and what's going to be different?
Well, that's a really good question. At this point, I don't know when phase 3 is going to open. There's no regulated time, so we're just guessing at this point. And one of the major concerns that I have for all nail salons in California, which were over 10,000 of us, what we have to do is figure out what we need to protect consumers, clients, and most importantly, manicurists.
Yeah, and when we talk about, mani-pedis, it's not really something that can be done from a safe social distance because, it requires touch.
Correct.
And there's going to be required protective gear. What kind of protection were you using before COVID-19, and what's going to be required moving forward? Have you been given any idea by health officials?
Not quite yet. We haven't been given any sort of information. So what I'm doing personally is I'm looking to other states like Georgia and Texas and seeing what they're doing to protect themselves because their salons are open. At this point, we're regulated by the State Board of California Barbering and Cosmetology. They regulate us to make sure we follow all the rules. But I realize that they are the ones who regulate us, but who regulates them? The governor, the state. So we're just waiting to hear about what we can do, like specifically, because if we have to buy PPE, it's going to be expensive. What if it's not available? How are smaller salons going to be able to afford all the PPE? I believe at this point, all clients will be wearing a mask. That's the most important thing.
Right. I know in the past, the person doing the manicures and pedicures, I've seen them wearing masks even before this happened. But you're talking about extra gear, and you guys are going to have to foot the bill for that. You're also going to have to find suppliers. Do you say that most salons, are they in a position to find the gear? And what would that extra expense maybe mean for the industry and customers?
Yeah, that's what's the most challenging, is almost all salons in California, we've been closed for over 10 weeks, almost no income at all. Many are lucky to get unemployment or a PPP or some kind of funding, but many aren't. So what are we going to do to help all salons stay safe? Because it is America's favorite pastime, manicures and pedicures. It really is. And I know that everyone's going to appreciate us so much when we're able to come back so that we can do their nails and do their pedicure. And at this point, I don't know what the safety measures are going to be. I'm just guessing, and I'm going above and beyond at this point what the state board already regulates for us, and that's all we can do is just guess what we need.
Well, it's good to hear from a nail salon owner like yourself that's very concerned in doing what you can do as you wait for these government guidelines. There's at least one industry group that has filed suit against the state. Fill us in on that, and why do you think that is necessary?
Well, I believe that we do need some kind of representation to expand our voice, because not just did COVID affect our industry and now we have to upgrade standards. I believe the nail salon industry just as a whole, because there's so many of us, we needed some new regulations, some new protocols, and some new standards, but how are we going to implement them? That's the bottom line. Is it salon owners, salon managers? How can we make sure that we abide by all the new protocols? And when we have a voice of a community to help speak out and perhaps pass legislation, that's exactly what we need, because there's so many of us that are confused and afraid, and we just don't know what the future holds for our industry, especially in California.
Well, and you talk about how many nail salons there are just here in the state of California. So you are looking for some support. Anything else that you feel that the state should be doing that's going to help you guys survive?
Yes, definitely. We definitely need higher standard of regulations for salons. We need people to come in on a regular basis to make sure that we're following protocol. And how are we going to get the information out to all of those salons and to all of the licensees in California? I don't know where to go right now, this very moment, to find out what I need to proactively prepare, how much it's going to cost, how do we display what we need to our consumers, to our clients. I mean, this is a really big thing that's happening, and we can't stay 6 feet away. So we have to think of all the things that we can do to protect ourselves. So clients must wear masks, manicurists must wear masks. We now are thinking about face shields and desk shields. We'll always wear gloves. So our hand massages and our foot massages will be with gloves. We won't have that same connection to clients that we used to have. And it's sad. It's really changed the landscape of our industry. But the most important thing is that we have to protect each other as manicurists, and we have to protect the client in order for this industry to survive. And we all have to do it together.
All right, Michelle Sauders James talking to us about the nail industry. I know I can't wait to make my appointments, but only when it's safe. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Aubrey.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.